Hey guys, welcome to CryptoCoach365. It's day 112. I'm all dressed up, got my nice fancy watch on, my nice suit on. I am out here doing some marketing, and because you're on CryptoCoach365, it's all live. You'll get to see everything that's going on. So hopefully the highway's not out there. The reason I had to not causing too many issues because there's a road right up there. Unfortunately, I'm still in the middle of a move, and this is a very, very brief time when sun finally came out. Where I am right now, it's been no sun for probably a week and a half, and we expect this big hurricane to go through here in the next couple of days. So we have a little brief respite, and I need a good lighting, so I'm out here in front of my house. So yeah, that's my house right there. It's not great. I mean, not like fancy mansion. It's nice, of course, but you know. And there's my garage, and in a bit I'll show you my fancy car, but because right, fancy, you'll see. But yeah, I'm out here recording a video promotion for my CryptoCoach thing, because you know, you got a market to be able to get people to come. I mean, to get people to come and see your stuff. A lot of people, when they run a business, all they do is just post stuff online and hope for the best, and that's it. Or they kind of have word of mouth here and there. They work on referrals. They try to do a little bit, the bare minimum basically, but nobody actually does the whole marketing and branding, and they expect that others will come to their business, which, you know, sometimes it works. You could have an actual physical location in a nice place, and people might see your storefront and they might come in once in a while, but that's mom and pop stuff. That's not where you want to do a big business. And a lot of times what happens is these businesses that don't really advertise, they sit there, especially if they're not selling something that people need a lot, or they would have that would require repeat stuff. People shop there once and then they just never come back, and the businesses go out of business. So you got to market. If you're going to be doing a video like this though, or any kind of marketing, lighting is important. Audio is a lot more important. So this is a little clip-on microphone that I bought. It's through Amazon on Purse. Got 15% off on buying all of this stuff. So audio is more important because if they can't see you, they can at least hear you. So you got to get that going. And Purse.io, again, nobody is paying me right now to market or advertise anything. If anybody does, I'll be sure to tell you. But honestly, I don't actually need the money from. I don't need money from advertisers to kind of push their products. I have plenty of my own. The other thing is that my integrity is a lot more valuable to me than anything else. So my integrity is not for sale. I'm not going to have somebody pay me to market their product and then say it's a great product only because I'm paid. If I say it's a great product, it's because I've used it, I trust it, and I like it. So that's it. So if I say anything about any kind of market, product, whatever here, it's because I genuinely believe in it. One of those products is, as I mentioned, Purse.io, which if you go on there, they'll show you how to buy anything online on Amazon using Bitcoin with a pretty good discount. Typically 15% is what I get. So yeah, it's my house. It's really bright. Sun is out briefly. Here's my crib. We don't really use the front door very often, and I just walked into a spider web, so that was terrible. Bloopers. But it's all live, so you get to see it all live. Anyway, my nice fancy ride. It's not a Lamborghini. Crap, there's another spider web. There it is. It's that fancy white thing right back there. That's my Bitcoin Prius. Why is it a Bitcoin Prius? It's not because I have a Bitcoin license plate, but it's because of this. And that does say bought with Bitcoin. I paid 1,000 Bitcoin for this thing back in 2013. Back then it was $22 per Bitcoin, and Bitcoin went from 7 to 10 to 15 to 22. I was concerned that it may be in a bubble, and my old car was a think 1999 Honda Civic, which had over 200,000 miles at the time, was kind of starting to fall apart. The inside of it was really cracked, like the interior was cracking up and breaking up. I needed something new, needed something more reliable. I thought Bitcoin was in a bubble at 22, so I cashed out a portion of it and spent exactly 1,000 Bitcoin on this nice, fancy, sporty looking ride. I mean, you painted yellow, you put a big spoiler up here, maybe some Lamborghini stickers, and maybe like a butterfly doors that open up like that. I mean, you might pass for a Lamborghini, I don't know. But yeah, it was 1,000 Bitcoin. Unfortunately, a couple of months later, Bitcoin went up to 250 and then crashed to 100, and then went up to 1,300, and that's when Mt. Gox crashed. So that's after that, it crashed all the way back down to back to 250 again. But at that point I was driving a $1 million Prius because it was 1,000 Bitcoin, with Bitcoin being $1,000 each, which made this a $1 million car. It's not much better right now. It's a $6 million Prius. But you know what? It was a good purchase. I'm happy with my car. I've been using it quite a bit, and the best thing is it was probably the first car I ever bought with Bitcoin, and I'm probably not going to sell it either because it's a historical piece. So like maybe eventually Bitcoin will go up in value. Maybe eventually instead of a nice little mansion like I have right now, which is, it looks fancy, but it's not. It's a nice house, but it's not like a mansion. But like eventually maybe I'll buy something that is a mansion. Maybe I'll buy a castle, and then at that point I'll be able to take that Prius and mount it up on the wall as a piece of history or a piece of art or something, because Bitcoin history. We have the first pizzas, that 2 pizzas were bought for 10,000 Bitcoin, and now we have first car bought with Bitcoin for 1,000 Bitcoin, and it's all mine and it's still working. So anyway, marketing. Honestly, I really hate those videos on Facebook where people are like, hey, look at my big ass mansion, look at my Ferraris, look at my Lamborghinis, you can have a life like this too. No, it don't work that way. If you want to have money, you got to work for it. If you invest, you got to know what you're investing in. More people lost money on cryptocurrencies, investing in day trading in cryptocurrency, than have gained, unfortunately, because most people don't really know what they're doing and don't really understand what they're investing in. Mostly it's just they don't understand what they're investing in. They're gambling. They're throwing their chips on a table of cryptocurrencies and hoping one of those altcoins will win them big. Most of the time it does not. And those people who market their stuff online with like, look at my fancy stuff, they're not genuine. Like I actually know some of them. A lot of those people are, like, not personally, I've met them at conferences. The cars are rented a lot of times, the apartments are rented a lot of times, and the most important thing is I know people who are multimillionaires, who are billionaires, like I'm a multimillionaire. Buying a fancy car like that, it's a waste of money. We buy assets, those things are liabilities. Buying massive houses, liabilities, they're not assets. I'd rather have my money sit in Bitcoin. I'd rather have my Bitcoin returns. I'd rather have that money go into a business that actually helps, helps people, helps Bitcoiners, help the world. If I'm wasting that money on a fancy car that costs $250,000, no. There is, somebody might object, but you're spending so much money on an airplane. Well, true, but I am actually I'm building an airplane myself because by doing that, I'm spending a little over $200,000 on what I would have to spend about $700,000 to buy factory made. So I'm saving a lot of money there. And my airplane is actually going to be used for business. So I am a real estate investor and I travel a lot for business. As if you followed me along, you've probably seen me travel. I talk about it all the time. Like next week, I'm going to Columbus, Ohio. Right after that, I'm going to Vegas for training. Right after that, I'm going to Florida. Right after that, I'm going to probably Los Angeles and then St. Kitts. Right after that, I'm going to Venice. Right after that, I'm going to Greece. Right after that, I'm going to, I mean, it keeps going. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to make international flights or over the Atlantic on this thing, but I have properties that are all over Maryland. I have properties all over Virginia. I have properties further out and further south. And I can waste 2 hours of my time flying to inspect, driving to inspect these things, or I can waste 30 minutes going there and 30 minutes going back. And with regards to flying to, for example, to visit my business coach, JT Fox, it'll take me 2 hours to fly commercial, plus I have to be there an hour and a half early and then an hour afterwards, plus there might be layovers. Or it could be where I take 4 hours, where I just get on my plane, fly down there for 4 hours at any time I want, get out and I'm there. And if there's any issues with weather, there's no issues with delays or other, like my flight might get canceled, my flight might miss a connection. With my own plane, I just go where I need to go. So it's really saving time. I mean, yes, I do love it. It is going to be, it's a lovely hobby. It's great views up there. It's nice to have that kind of freedom. But really, it's a major time saver. So the reason I'm spending so much money on it is because it's a tool, it's a utility that I will actually put to use. People who have Ferraris and Lamborghinis, they probably don't use them as real cars because they're extremely impractical. They're very uncomfortable for long distances too. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of my spiel on that whole, you know, the guys who show off with their fancy cars and mansions. You know, there's my house, there's my fancy car. But yeah, marketing done. Today was all about working on real estate. We actually had quite a lot of good news with regards to our the crazy property we have, where we have trailers on it, and then we were told by zoning that even though we were supposed to have grandfathered in, they need proof that those trailers were actually rented for a while. We managed to get in touch with the prior owner, and he got us in, or is getting us in touch with a property manager, and hopefully the property manager will have all the records that we need to prove that yes, those properties were being rented consecutively since many years ago. So good news there. Managed to, well, the rest of the time was more, this house is getting appraised too. The appraisal came in pretty high. We'll be able to get a good loan on it to get it fixed up. Well, I want to free up my money because I have a lot tied in this house, and mainly because I'm using Unchained Capital. Again, any services I talk about, I like them. Unchained Capital requires a 2-to-1 loan to value. So if I have to buy this house, for example, for $100,000, it's not 100, it's more. I have to send $200,000 to Unchained Capital in Bitcoin as collateral. So this house is having quite a lot of my Bitcoin tied up. So if I can actually get that out of a collateral into a more normal loan, that's going to be good. I'll get my money. I like having my money back. So anyway, yeah, lots of good real estate news. Sun is out. I do love the sun. And done for the day, so I'm gonna go get some dinner and then probably catch up on more work, I was gonna say, and then relax. And then knowing me, I'm gonna keep working on more stuff. There's always something to do, even if it's just to listen to things like JT's or others, audiobooks, reading books, study, learn. You know, every day you gotta learn something new. Every day you're gonna do something to make yourself better. And that's how you get to where I am, and that's how you get to where all the other successful people are. So yeah, anyway, gonna head back in, get some dinner, and get back to work. So talk to you guys later. Bye.